Portman Road, the ability to change their tactics to suit the occasion has served them very well. Aston Villa now being quoted as 5-2 Premier League favourites, despite being 5 points behind Norwich, who've been the only side to beat them in the last 17 matches. A much bigger squad than Ipswich to choose from, and the bad news is for them that Dalian Atkinson has failed the test on a hamstring injury. So Cyril Regis, age 34 now, who was Atkinson's replacement at the weekend when he also scored, starts only his 4th game of the season as his replacement again. Which means more responsibility for Dean Saunders, who struck up a prolific 19-goal partnership with Atkinson, but playing with Regis for only the 2nd time. The referee is Michael James from Horsham, the director of an electronics firm. So it's Aston Villa who get the action moving here without their leading scorer, without a particularly good record here at Portman Road. Ipswich with home advantage, a wonderful atmosphere, and alongside me Alan Brazil, the former Scotland and Ipswich star, still a leading line in the town of course. Alan, what do you think the main issues here are?
I think, Jerry, the midfield is going to be very important for Ipswich. Villa look very strong. Obviously they'll miss Dalian Atkinson up front, but Saunders is a player I really admire. He's darting about everywhere, very hard working, so I think that's where the game's going to be won and lost, Jerry.
Just looking at the shape of the Villa side, with young Cox playing on the right-hand side. Obviously Regis and Saunders up front. But Ron Atkinson has moved things around quite a lot in terms of tactical thinking. So first of all, it'll take a few minutes for the two teams to settle down. There's a couple of changes in the Villa lineup, for instance, from the first game earlier this month. So important that Ipswich grab the initiative early on while Villa settle. Pitch, as always, looking great. Thompson on the left. Houghton tries to close him down. Looking for Goddard. Goddard trying to pick that one up from Johnson and Stockwell. The old back pass rule comes into play. Poor clearance by Spink. Whitten trying one.
What a lovely shot. That's just the start Ipswich need, Jerry. You know, Spink undecided, ball fell to Whitten. Whitten, who's got a real strong shot, proved it there, left foot, and that wasn't far away. That was a great effort from Ipswich.
John Walker knocks it on. Kiwomya and Goddard not quite working things out. Saunders, a nice little ball to Parker. Now Staunton trying to get one into the middle towards Regis. Good effort.
He may be getting on, Jerry, in age, but at the end of the day it was Errol Barrett who got the header in, and he really is very, very sharp. And luckily for Town, the ball was cleared.
Good driving header, and Baker gathers. Luckily it was straight at him. Here's Houghton moving into the centre of midfield. Barrett is to his right. Parker's moved wide to the left-hand side.
I think down this left-hand side for Villa, Jerry, they have a lovely understanding, Staunton and Houghton, the old Liverpool connection there. They really do play well together, link up well, and that's a problem where Ipswich are going to have to be on the toes and keep an eye out.
Regis challenging here with Linnigan. Battered down by Richardson. Out to Parker. Oh, Parker's done well. He's lost Stockwell. It's a dangerous cross. And Johnson is back to cover Ray Houghton. Houghton with it. Another cross coming in to Saunders. Houghton again. Good play here by Villa. Now Staunton. Parker knocking it around well, Aston Villa. And Houghton way outside the area. Ipswich have dropped all the way back, and they keep their cool and discipline, and it comes to nothing.
I think Houghton's the man that really makes him tick, Jerry. Everyone looks to give him the ball, he manipulates things, little 1-2s, goes again, little chips in the box that we've just seen, and he really has to be closely marked.
Cox coming down the line. Houghton ducking away from his marker, trying to leave space for Regis farther down the line, but tight marking by Ipswich. Regis turning away well from Whelan. Deep one for Parker. Stockwell gets across fast, but Parker can make inroads here. He's done well. Can he find a man? And the ball to Barrett wasn't a good one as Staunton drives, and the linesman's flag was up over the far side. But nevertheless,
that was a lovely move by Villa, Jerry. I think there again, Errol Barrett's the man getting in the box. He's making deep runs with a lot of pace. Parker left-footed, super cut back, and perhaps if Barrett had been a forward, it could have been 1-0 to Villa.
And then it was offside. Well, this is a blow now for Aston Villa. We've had just over 10 minutes, and Cyril Regis, the replacement for leading scorer Dalian Atkinson, is in trouble.
That could even be a hamstring, just looking at the monitor, Jerry. You know, he's looking just below the hamstring, behind the knee. It doesn't look as if there's any ice or cold sponge going on it, so it could be bad news for Villa and good news for Town fans.
Two Villa substitutes, Dwight York and Matthias Breitkreutz warming up. 21-year-old from Berlin, and Dwight York, of course, we know all about. Well, worry for Ron Atkinson. Many compliments flying around as far as Villa are concerned, but you can't cope with injuries like that.
That's the problem, Jerry. When you're a little bit older, you know, you can't shrug off injuries like that.
And he's trying to go for it there. He didn't make it. Whitney's brought down by Staunton. A free kick to Ipswich. Gets back behind the ball like all the Villa players, including Saunders. They pile up on the edge of the area for Walk's kick. Looking for Linnigan. It's won by Teal, but not very conclusively.
It appears that York's going to be the man to replace Cyril Regis, Jerry. And this guy, as we know, he has got some superb pace.
Okay, let's have a look at this corner then, with Thompson going to push one over. Walk is pushed up there. Linnigan is coming in from the back of the box, and Steve Whitten, of course, is good in the air. Whitten coming onto this one. Gets it well. Punch from Spink. Back in again by Johnson. Kiwamya leaps. And it's well away by Earl Barrett. So a blow for Aston Villa in only the 13th minute. Cyril Regis comes off, and it's going to be Dwight York who comes on. So a forward for a forward, but this is certainly not what Ron Atkinson wanted.
Looks a nasty injury, Jerry. You know, Cyril's obviously heading to the dressing room in a lot of agony, and that could be a hamstring. I hope not, for his sake.
Meanwhile, more treatment for Aston Villa players. Steve Staunton but Ron Atkinson pleased to note that he's all right, and away we go again. Staunton takes the kick. Whelan with McGrath. Good header. No real danger. And really, neither goalkeeper has been severely tested so far. Got our back to Stockwell. Whitten's on the right. Tries to lose his marker, doesn't succeed. Goddard to Linnigan. Patel a little touch. This is better from Ipswich Town. Goddard turns well. Is beaten by Richardson, but fouled by him. A rash of free kicks conceded here by Aston Villa. Walk looking for Thompson on the left-hand side. Houghton is with him. It's a good header. And Goddard drives! The whistle had already gone.
What a shame. You know, for me, that was a 50-50. Thompson got above Houghton, lovely header, and a super strike with Paul Goddard. That really is a shame. When you see Thompson jumping, I've seen a lot worse fouls than that.
But what a volley from Goddard, although of course he's very relaxed at this stage because he knows it won't count. Teal with Parker going wide on the left, stretching Ipswich. Teal coming to the right for Dwight York. Whelan gets in there, but York controls well on the ground. Might have an advantage. And Richardson drives one in, and Saunders stretching to it. He got behind the man there. I don't know whether that was an intended pass forward, but certainly this was good play by Aston Villa as Dwight York puts it inside to Richardson. Now, looked like a very difficult ball, but he almost got to it. Here comes Houghton. Saunders backing around up front. Richardson finding Dwight York. Parker. This is promising play here by Aston Villa. Dwight York's in. It's a poor cross when there was a real chance of opening Ipswich up. Steve Staunton with Saunders backing off, looking for the loose ball as Whelan gets a boot to it. The final ball there was not very good at all. There was a real opportunity for Aston Villa. Saunders trying to turn Whelan. Gets it back to Houghton with support on the right-hand side from Cox. He's got a chance to get a good cross in. Takes his time. Another good clearance, and Parker had a definite opportunity there.
Well, I think it's a lovely ball from Cox. Took his time, measured the cross, and Dave Linigan really should have cleared this. You know, overcomes the cross. It's a lovely ball. Linigan is there first. Unfortunately for him, he missed his kick, and Parker really has an excellent opportunity there.
Well won by Cox. Ipswich throw. Encouragement from the terraces. Perhaps they need a little bit more of it here. Stockwell trying to get away from his man. Johnson trying to get away from his man. Here's Kiwomya and Cox. So that's another throw. Witten's come into the middle. Whelan's gone into the middle too. Long one coming in as Whelan leaps. And McGrath got it comfortably. Gavin Johnson, a nice ball. Quickly to Thompson. Thompson against Houghton. Thompson still with it. And Johnson supporting him well. Gets into a bit of trouble. Johnson still putting pressure. Thompson, that's better. To Witten. And perhaps John Walk here with a chance.
Oh, that would have been nice for all Town fans to see that go in. You don't often see Walkie sprint as quick as that, Jerry. But on his old right foot, unfortunately, it wasn't to be.
But they beavered to get that away from a very tricky area on that right-hand side. Walk was coming up like a tank, but it wasn't quite right for him, and he was always stretching. Back it comes to McGrath. And he thought Staunton was supporting him on the left-hand side, but he pushed up having taken the throw. So it's Ipswich who finished this half on top in a manner of speaking as Stockwell gets forward. He's not offside. Thompson's in the middle if they can get a cross in. It's not a good cross at all. Off balance. Stockwell did well to get onto that one, then given the opportunity to cross it, it was wasted.
Well, had he got the cross in, Jerry, as well, I think there was one Town player against 5 Villa. It's not good enough. You know, Town must believe in themselves, get people in the box in the hope that the cross comes over.
Well, they might get a few people in the box here because they've got a free kick in time added on. Steve Witten wants to take it quickly. He has done, and Goddard gets in there, and just too strong for Chris Kiwomya. Well, a bit of pace, a bit of accuracy, and they weren't too far away there. Nice free kick.
Once again, it's a lovely free kick, and again, Paul Goddard has a free header. Unfortunately for Ipswich Town fans, it didn't fall to Chris Kiwomya and goes safely for a goal kick.
So it's finished a little bit brighter, but not much. Backed away again by John Walk. Picked up by Dwight York. Linigan with a loose ball towards Goddard. And out it goes. minutes of time added on here, because we have had a couple of stoppages, of course, through injuries. And by William, but only down to Barrett, and that's always dangerous. Weight of numbers win it for Ipswich, but a bit of pushing wins a free kick for Aston Villa. Now they're in a hurry to get it going. With McGrath and Teal going up on the far side of the penalty area. The referee will blow the whistle at the end of the first half. They're reckoning that the Ipswich players aren't 10 yards from the ball. Now he's pushing them back a foot or two, and the kick can be taken. Houghton knocking it in. Up goes McGrath. It's a good header. Away by Dazal. Stockwell helps it on, but it's still Aston Villa in possession. Earl Barrett. A good challenge by Stockwell. As the referee blows the whistle, 3 minutes of time added on here, mainly because of the injury to Cyril Regis. Well, a fragmented first half, the industry and the aggression of Earl Barrett and Houghton alongside him really giving Aston Villa most of the initiative in that first half. But for Ipswich Town, they'll have to think of a few ideas. They'll have to get a little bit more support for the front man. But so far here at Portman Road, this cup tie still in the balance. We'll be back for the second half. Welcome back to Portman Road, the fourth round replay of this Coca-Cola Cup tie, which hasn't really got off the ground yet. Villa, without a good record at all here in either the Cup or the League, had the best of the first half. Ipswich haven't got their game going at all. But they did this in the last game against Manchester City, where they played pretty poorly in the first half and took them apart in the second half. Alan Brazil, what do you think, what points were made at half-time in the Ipswich dressing room?
Well, I think that, Mick McGivern will certainly be talking to them about midfield. Chris Kiwami at the moment, obviously he's up front, he's isolated, and when he gets the ball, which has not been often first half, Jerry, he does need support, and we're not getting up, Ipswich are not getting up quick enough to help him.
And Aston Villa look as if they could make a little bit of an impression in the first few seconds from this free kick. As the three-man wall is pushed back by referee Michael James. We have Paul McGrath over the far side. Sean Teal is over there too. And Cox is coming in on the run. Up goes McGrath. It's a good header, but it's knocked off a defender, is it? For a corner it is. To the dismay of the Ipswich Town supporters. Well, first corner certainly went off Linnigan.
I think Linnigan may have something to say about that. McGrath climbing all over him.
And they're together again in the packed penalty area. Walk trying to pick up his man. It's a good one, and in goes Cox.
Well, it's a lovely corner coming over here. And surprisingly, Cox, a youngster, rised above everyone and just can't direct his header better.
Started off rather tentatively in the right back position. And Barrett is in the thick of the action immediately at the start of the second half. Goddard against Cox, who oversold himself there. But he's got the youth and the pace to get back against Paul Goddard. A little bit more volume from the Portman Road crowd as they will their side on towards the quarter-finals. Thompson coming inside well. Support from Gavin Johnson against Richardson and Houghton. It's not a bad one, but from that angle couldn't trouble Spink and the Villa defence. Saunders linking in over the shoulder of the much taller Wooden. Free kick. Linnigan's creeping up over the far side. John Walk still hovering on the edge of the area. Linnigan gets up. It's a strong header. Goddard. And in comes Stockwell. Well, it was a very awkward one, but McGrath was covering, and it means a corner. Well, a little bit scrappy, but Stockwell trying to make something of a very loose and awkward ball. McGrath coming over to get there, knocks it out for the corner. Now the volume of noise has increased considerably as John Walker and company push forward. Lenigan's on the edge of the box. Gazelle with Witten in there for Thompson's in-swinger. Which a good one. And in goes Goddard. It's a difficult one where you could hurt yourself as an opponent puts his foot up to it.
Yeah, I think the ball bounced a bit high there for Paul Goddard, and Kevin Richardson very quick to take the chance of leaving his studs there. Poor Paul Goddard. Lovely ball, headed out. As you see here, the ball just bounced a little bit high, and Richardson's there with the 6 studs. Take that.
Witten winning in a fashion. It's an Ipswich throw. Gary Parker, the former Luton player who's played in 2 Wembley League Cup finals with Nottingham Forest. As Thompson gets in there, chasing that ball. He wasn't far off that one. Nice little ball from Jason Gazelle. Looking much more aggressive now, Ipswich Town. Well won. Kiwomya, difficult one for Thompson, he's through. Kiwomya going on the left-hand side against Cox. And Cox gets in there at full stretch. This is better.
I think the Rick McGibbon at half-time has obviously said, come on boys, you know, they're taking the game to us. We have to change it. We have to get bodies forward, believe in yourself. And that's exactly what Ipswich Town are doing now. Now Thompson's making runs, Gazelle getting involved more, and this is a chance.
And the atmosphere very much improved here. Thompson whacks it in. Gazelle! Jason Gazelle puts Ipswich Town in the lead. Unmarked in the penalty area. Thompson picks him out. Kiwomya might have got the last touch, but it was Gazelle's powerful header.
But once again, it's a free header. It's a lovely, lovely cross. Jason Gazelle, I believe, heads it cleanly into the net. Spink gets a hand to it. But a firm header by Gazelle, and it's a super start. Just what Ipswich Town needed.
Powerful header, and in fact, Kiwomya got a little touch on. Well, let's check that one again. Spink blocked by Kiwomya, and it's a combination of Gazelle and Kiwomya to put Ipswich Town in the lead. Well, Alan Brazil, you would have been pleased to get that little touch yourself in your day, but he was in exactly the right spot, otherwise he might have saved it.
The guy really is in the top of his game at the moment. He is very, very sharp, and once again he's in the right place at the right time, and it's a lovely flick. It's a vital flick to give Town the lead.
Thompson, who took the kick, now takes the throw, and it's back in again for Ipswich to fight for. Atkinson must be really regretting the fact that they had such a good first half and didn't dominate or didn't get a goal. Now they're fighting and chasing the game as Saunders is caught offside. And this is where they really could miss Dalian Atkinson or Cyril Regis.
He's still so dangerous, Dean Saunders. Ipswich can't afford to sit back. They must push forward, because you give this guy a chance and he'll put Villa on level terms.
Towards the front now. There's now the big guys coming up again. 11th goal of the season, 6th in this competition for Chris Kiwomya, with help from Gazelle. Up goes McGrath. Knocked in again by Teal, Parker rather, but behind the defence, straight into the arms of the goalkeeper.
I think the next 10 minutes or so for Ipswich Town, Jerry, very, very important. If they can just keep hold of this lead, Villa are obviously going to up the tempo. If they can rebel that, then they're on the way to the quarter-final.
Stockwell. Away goes Goddard. Teal crossed strongly. controlling a difficult ball. Stockwell gets away from one challenge, puts in Steve Whitten. Now can he pick out a good cross? In comes Thompson.
Well, that's a lovely move there, Jerry, by Town. Mickey Stockwell done super. Thompson once again flying in from the left back spot, and unfortunately, great play by Stockwell. Steve Whitten, who does cross a lovely ball. This is a real deep one now, giving Thompson the chance to get in the end of it. Here he comes deep, but just can't direct his header towards the goal.
Good marking by Villa. Stockwell, too strong for Goddard. Oh, and Goddard's picked up a bad one from Paul McGrath. Stockwell, very busy on his right-hand side. He's got support from Steve Whitten behind him. The aggression of Stockwell on the right and Thompson on the left have made a big difference to the way Ipswich are playing in the second half. Goddard down the line. Well away by Staunton. Picking out York. Lonergan can't get there. Rebounding to Dean Saunders. York is offside and Saunders is going on his own. He's through here. Great effort. Terrific pace.
That is superb play by Dean Saunders. The easy ball was to Dwight York, but he realises York was in an offside position right here. Saunders, quick brain, decides to take Ipswich on his own and forces his way into the Ipswich box. Linnigan can't catch him. Left-footed, a little bit weak, and a good save from Baker.
Goddard trying to flick it on to Stockwell. Encouraging. With Barrett knocking it wide to Cox. Tremendous after him. Easy regaining the possession by Ipswich. Goddard, nice little touch on to Gazelle, and he's through on the right hand side. He's got Whitten, and Whitten has been flagged for offside.
Wow. You see it again here, Jerry, but no wonder Steve Whitten looks disgusted. And Gazelle decided to take the ball on his own. Whitten was in the clear. You see it here, Dazelle takes it inside Staunton. You can see Whitten here free, but Dazelle decides to go on his own, just gets a toe to it, and it didn't look offside.
Substitution then for Aston Villa in the second half. On comes Matthias Bright-Croots, 21-year-old. Off comes Gary Parker. Probably missed the best opportunity they had.
Yeah, I think he played in the game up at Villa Park, the opening game. I think he's a player, Jerry, we don't know too much about, but he does have a bit of pace and he's pretty direct.
Villa regaining the initiative. Whacks that one up. Anything that John Walk does gets a decent run.
He read that like a book. Superb.
Bright-Croots, his first touch. Houghton whacks it in. Teal's in there. No, it's not Teal, it's Cox. The ball has gone out, and it's a corner. Now Teal will come forward with McGrath, and Cox is in there too. So Teal, McGrath are certainly the big dangers. What about the corner? It's helped on. Well, it looked as if Dwight York caused a lot of problems there with that little flick on, and also Cox on the near post. That was real problems.
That's a lovely ball. Look, York gets the touch, unfortunately, but Ipswich Town that Jason deserves there.
They're in trouble here, Ipswich, as it's whacked in by Kevin Richardson. McGrath going again, and now it's Cox over the top. Not much of a target there. Difficult effort.
No, we said earlier that he had a quiet start to the match, Cox, but as the game's gone on, he really has come into the game in a big way. You know, it's a lovely ball. Everyone's stretching for it. McGrath, I think, gets a touch there, and it comes back to McGrath. He just can't get there. Comes to Cox, right foot, but good closing down by Neil Thompson, which enabled Cox just couldn't have a clear shot.
Now it's Villa coming back. That was a poor one from Richardson in the end, but still Villa in possession. Big one from Cox. Linnigan, and that's a corner, knowing full well that Dean Saunders was behind him. Well, they've defended very well throughout the season. They looked assured in defence in critical areas, but now they've got a lot of pressure on them. As Staunton takes the kick and McGrath comes in, Dwight York gets up. Houghton does well to get it to Steve Staunton. What sort of a cross is this? As Baker goes up and holds it well.
That's good handling, Jerry. You know, he's not the largest, he's not the tallest of goalkeepers in the league, but he really has got a safe pair of hands and very, very sharp looking.
5'9", and cross possibly from Staunton. Could have been through farther back. It gives Aston Villa possession again. Saunders trying to turn away from Whelan. Whelan sticks to his task. Saunders gets the cross in though. Gazelle can't get there. Staunton has pushed up. Dwight York to help him. Staunton moves away trying to leave space. Here's Teal. McGrath. Dwight Droots. Oh, he's not done too well, the young German. That's the second time he's given it away, but McGrath wins it back for Aston Villa. There's some clever stuff. Now it's Aston Villa fans are doing the shouting. As Dwight York chases this one, and it's Linnigan to try and close him down, but he should be able to get a cross in. Oh, it's not a bad one. And it's a trusty foot of John Walk to get it away. Well, are they wobbling a bit here? Certainly sticking to it well. Bright Crooch turns well. Deflected away for a corner. Fifth corner for Villa. Going to be taken by Richardson. He's going to take the short one, is he? Bright Crooch has gone over there to help him, but he knows full well that Teal and McGrath are more dangerous in the middle. And Johnson gets the header in. Stockwell can get away, but McGrath's after him. He's got pace, and that was a super judgment. And back in goes Houghton. This is Saunders, and he's offside.
Yeah, it's intense pressure from Aston Villa here. Paul McGrath really showing that for such a big fella, he is no slouch. He's very, very quick. When I had my little spell at Old Trafford, Jerry, he was the quickest in the club, in front of people like Jasper Olsen.
You probably noticed there that McGrath was taking instructions from the bench, where Ron Atkinson was indicating he wanted a couple of changes. What exactly I couldn't work out. And Johnson's got it. Oh, that's too strong for Thompson. It's up against the young German. Johnson's gone across to help, and that's good play. It's put in for Kiwamya. He didn't get a clean header in. Just deflected by Stockwell. Gazelle picks it up. Walk wants to get it forward. Does so just. Gazelle. Too much for Gavin Johnson. And it's Villa back in possession with just over 10 minutes left. Still 1-0 to Ipswich Town. York. Chasing, pushing, forcing Villa to knock it around in an area which isn't too dangerous, and then they lose it. Linnigan. That's going the other way immediately. Earl Barrett, who's dropped back into the centre of defence, while McGrath is pushed forward into an attacking role. Whelan. Gavin Johnson, clearance anywhere. There's no chance of Ipswich getting hold of that. No pressure on Cox.
I'm just wondering, Jerry, if Ipswich Town will bring on Williams to try and stabilise this midfield, but I think Ipswich could be doing that for these last few minutes.
Picked up by Bright Crooch. Doesn't get by Johnson. Goddard does well. Kiwamya can make ground here. McGrath is after him. He went down quite easily there. But as the free kick is given, 2 substitutes, I think, or is it just 1 at the moment, prepared to come on for Ipswich. So with 9 minutes left, it's Goddard to come off, and On comes Geraint Williams, as you suggested.
Yeah, he's missed the last game through injury, but I know he's looking forward to this one. I think he'll just give Ipswich Town the stability they need for these last remaining minutes.
Oh, Stockwell didn't quite get that one, but comes through to Ipswich all right. Linnigan with the back pass, and McGrath's onto him, and that's going to spin, I think, for the corner. I thought, no, it's only a free kick, only a throw in. That was exactly the type of thing you were talking about earlier, Alan. But here's now a dangerous situation as Staunton knocks it in. All flicked on by McGrath, and that was so close to the equaliser.
Yeah, Saunders just couldn't quite get on the end of it. You know, it's a lovely throw right on the head of Paul McGrath, and there he was again, Saunders. It's a lovely throw, great flick, Town all over the place, and Saunders just couldn't get quite enough on it.
Gazelle, Williams, big kick, big chase. Teal and Kiwomya. There's a push there by Teal. There's a free kick according to the linesman. The referee's given it the other way. The linesman gave it to Ipswich. The referee gave it to Aston Villa. And certainly Kiwomya wasn't 10 yards away from the ball anyhow. But we're all over the place here. But the clock ticks on. And the big kick forward by Spink. Well, who's at fault there? The referee and the linesman couldn't get their act together even. But meanwhile, it's Villa desperately chasing forward in the last minute now of normal time as York turns it to McGrath. Here is Richardson. They're all piled up there on the edge of the area. And the linesman's flag goes up again.
It really is incredible. You know, they have been very, very sharp linesmen. There's been no halfway up, halfway down. It's gone straight up, and that's the decision he's given to the relief of about 25,000 people.
And Ipswich, to be fair to them, have been very disciplined on the edge of the area. Tight marking, never conceding ground, never driven too far back into Clive Baker's box. Come by Kiwomya. There's no support there as Ipswich drop back, and they know what's coming now. Saunders got that one. Linnigan got that. And Barrett bangs it forward again. Whitten's back there defending. And it's going to be a throw-in as we come up now to the 90-minute mark. And Villa still chasing the goal that will take us into extra time if they get it. And it's flicked on by Whelan, and Baker coming out confidently, grabs it and gets a raucous round of applause. Well, it's been a big battle in this second half, and it's still pretty tense, Alan.
Well, it was always going to be very, very tight. You know, Ron Atkinson very unhappy, telling, you know, Villa shots to get up, get in that box as a last-gasp effort.
Ron Atkinson feels that they lost the first game, or was taken to a first game because of carelessness on their own part. But after dominating the first half, they put it together at the end of the second half, but it might not be enough. As McGrath and Linnigan harassed, and according to McGrath, he was pushed by Linnigan, and I thought he was too, but the referee gives not a free kick, but it's a throw-in out here. They're desperate now as Whelan leaps. It's a good one. York retrieves. They're all back, Ipswich, and Thompson has won it to gain a little bit more space, waste a few more seconds. We've had a minute of time added on now. Ipswich still hanging on to that 1-0 lead. And an all-seated crowd here, all on their feet virtually.
Well, the linesman just nodded to the referee, Jerry, so I think as Baker kicks that, it's going to be all over.
He checks his watch again. And the whistle goes to the mouth. It's all over. Ipswich Town are into the quarter-final of the Coca-Cola Cup on the strength of Chris Kiwomya's 57th minute goal. Just a little touch after the good work by